You can see 600 Guildford, the apartment buildings of the super rich lit up by the street lamps, by all the many lights that are on as you arrive in this district of the city. Getting in requires having to speak to a doorman and a receptionist, but you're given the flat number, probably quite close to the top. You take the elevator up and arrive at a small corridor outside where there's only one door, which would be the door to Isaac's apartment. And upon testing the door, you can tell that it is unlocked.
Mason will just politely knock and then open.
You open the door and Isaac's apartment is probably what you would expect. It's very minimalist. It's very modern. It's very sleek. Any kind of, there's not much here of sentimental value. It's all very utilitarian or very artsy without really having much substance to it.
Yeah.
Isaac is in the kitchen, kind of stood at his countertop with a glass, most likely filled with blood. And he waits for you to come in and shut the door behind you.
Mason will shut the door and good evening, my Priscus.
How have you been, Mason?
Well, it would be a lie to say I've been all okay. And you can see that on his face, like the scars have like healed. They're still there. They're not going anywhere, but they're not, like, they just look like healed burn, like heavy burn scars now. It's been a stressful month, but I think I'm picking myself back up.
With Ed Roberts taking care of the last of the long night and the new Archon in place to assist him, as he should, we have to turn our eyes to more supernatural threats.
Yes,
of the three people who originally went into the sewers to combat the Strix, you are the only one left in the city that can be contacted. One is dead and the other is missing.
Yes.
I want everything you have on the Strix.
Okay.
You may not find me a popular leader, or you may not enjoy me being Priscus, but I think you're a man who has the foresight to understand the severity of the threat we face.
May I speak plainly, Isaac?
Priscus Reed, and yes.
Of course. You said so yourself that we're never going to be friends. But I don't have to like you to work with you. And while I didn't vote for you, that doesn't mean I think you'll be a bad Priscus. You are right. We need to be united if we're going to fight this threat. And I have no interest in dragging the clan apart any more than it already has been. I want to work with you to bring the clan together.
Good. I hope your actions reflect that. I want a full briefing brought to me in 2 nights' time. You can bring it here, or most likely I'll have a New Haven set up by then, or we could find some other meeting place. I don't really care which, as long as I have a full briefing in 2 nights' time. Can you do that for me, Mason?
Of course I can, Priscus Reed.
Mason, I want you to know that I hold you personally responsible for the death of Priscus Langdon. In my opinion, the prince was far too lenient in your punishment, but I will abide by her judgment of your failure. In future, I will not be so merciful. You are on thin fucking ice, Mason Cassidy, and I shall be under it when it breaks. No more mistakes. You're dismissed. I think you know the way out. And like that, Isaac takes his glass and walks into a separate room.
Mason will turn and walk out. without saying a word, and he will, taking the elevator down, just kind of lean back in the elevator, leans back against the elevator, resting his head on the back, just shaking his head. And then he'll walk off into the night.